Hello again. Thanks for coming back. This is one of those introduction or one of these instructional videos that I was talking about. And while my protege over here, who I'll introduce you to in a second, is still warming up, I'll talk to you a little bit about what today's action is, and that's microskills. Microskills are the concept that a person with a cognitive delay is going to need additional steps in which to figure out how to piece together an activity that that you and I may take for granted. So what we may do is just get the ball and go do a particular skill, whether it be dribbling or take a shot or whatever. And we may or may not do it well. They need to build it. So sometimes maybe 4 or 5 different steps. So what I'll go into today is how we do that from a shooting standpoint, as we teach shooting, and as we teach dribbling as well. And more or less, this is not for the highly cognitive on the scale, but maybe the mid tier that we're really focusing on. And I think that hopefully that'll be helpful for you. But what we'll do is we'll take a look. There you go. Here we go. Here's our subject today. It's my boy. Damien, say hi to the camera.
Hi.
All right. All right. So hold on for a minute. He makes a lot of his shots. Go ahead and bring it on over here, buddy. He makes a lot of his shots. But what we're going to do is we're going to kind of pull it back for a minute, and I'm going to teach you what we would show someone that's learning how to shoot originally. How we would do it when they have cognitive delays. Damien, come on over. Okay. First step we're going to go into, Damien, is I want you to show how you put your hand on the ball. You want to use your fingertips, right? Do you use a wide grip or do you use a thin grip? You use a wide grip? Wide grip, yes or no?
Yes. Okay,
so use a wide grip. Okay, so then where does the elbow go? The elbow stays behind what? Elbow stays behind the ball. This is usually the second step. One moment. Okay, so then what we'll typically do, you can go ahead, Damien. What we'll typically do is we'll start with those two. We'll start with those two issues. And as much as that may be a foreign concept, that may be where we start for 2 to 3 weeks for the average mid-tier cognitive delay type of player that we deal with. What we would do after that is we would start to show the different. Well, we just simply call it back and through, or you could also call it like an Indian chop, where you're going back and you're going through, back and through. And we literally come into practice after you get those first 2, and we learn the chop without a ball, and then we use the ball, okay? And we don't even worry about the release, okay? Then we put steps 1 and 2, which were basically what I showed you, and we'll put that together with the Indian chop, and then we add the release. Okay, this amounts to starting a set shot, but the last step is once we've got them learning how to initiate the release, and they've done it so many times because they need repetition. Then what we do, keep shooting. Then what we do is we add the jumping, and Damien's at that level where he jumps at the same time, not prior to release. So he's just got a timing issue. So that's why I'm not kind of rolling with it today, because I want him to just get some shots up. But he jumps with it. Now the tendency is going to be with these kids that they're going to push the ball. The tendency is going to be that they push the ball rather than to rotate using the elbow as a joint, as a fulcrum point. Fulcrum point being the point where your power is. And the thing that is very difficult for them to understand is that less is more. So the more relaxed the arm swing, the more and the better the eyes are on the target, the better they're going to shoot. And you start to see that in the rotation of the ball. And you also see it in the fact that it starts going in a lot more. And there's a lot of different things that you can do to kind of dial it back if they're not getting it. And a lot of these kids, especially on the lower end, they're going to need one-on-one instruction. So you're doing drills 10, 20, 30 minutes at a time on any one of these. And if you have to take it remedial style and you kind of have to back it up, then you do that. But if you don't have to, you give them as much positive adulation as you possibly can, as much positive reinforcement as you can, and take them as fast as they want to go. But as soon as there's some sort of failure point or a frustration level, as most coaches would tell you in his commonsensical, I would think, is you back off. And I think that works very, very well. As it relates to dribbling, go ahead and shoot. He hits a lot of them. He reminds me of Moses Malone a little bit, actually, because that kind of like push shot. Other than him being my bodyguard, because he's bigger than me, you know, I like those two things about him. So anyway, when we're dribbling, the first thing I teach is, and I'll have him demonstrate that in a minute, is I look at body position. You know, you want a slight bend from the waist. You don't want to be straight up and down. But you also don't want the shoulders out over the knees either. Just a slight bend from the waist. And what we focus on a lot in our program is feeling the ball with your fingertips. A lot of these kids try to slap at the ball, and they, particularly at mid-scale and lower, they slap at the ball or they try to hit it with their palm. And that causes a loss in control. And it kind of changes the speed of the ball, and it almost knuckles on them a little bit. And it's harder to control it. So we teach them both on passing and on dribbling is to use their fingertips. I think that's crucially important. It also enables you to get rid of the ball very quickly. So using the fingertips is always a better way to go when you have control of the pill. So what we're going to do is then once you have them able to do that and they can feel the ball, that takes weeks on a new player. But then once they can feel the ball, then what you're doing is you're going to turn around and progressively move their eyes off the ball to up ahead of them. Okay? And then you're going to be able to teach them the concept. Nice rebound. Then you're going to teach them the concept of being able to see the bigger picture versus focusing on a particular object. And so that goes into court vision. And that's a different topic altogether. But we want to get them to where they don't have to keep changing their eye level from the ball to the court of play, let alone to the people around them. And a lot of these mid-tier kids, they're in 3-on-3 for Special Olympics. They're not on 5-on-5. So they've got some ability to learn that court vision. But that first piece of it is that they have to get off. They have to get off of staring at the ball. They've got to be able to look up. It also reduces the incidence of injury because when you're dribbling around and there are, granted, not very fast at 3-on-3, but moving bodies coming at you and you're not watching where you're going, someone's going to get hurt. Damien here is 5'9", almost 5'10". In fact, it just depends on how loud and proud he wants to stand when they take his measurements anyway. And but he's on a full gallop. He will put you on the ground. So we have players who are in the 300-pound range, whether it's with our club or clubs of other programs. So this is very important that we are able to get their heads up as it relates to other skills. So it's a gateway skill, but it's also a huge skill. So I want Damien to demonstrate that for me. Damien, I want you to show the audience, Damien. Show how you're going to dribble, okay? So, hey, wait a minute. Come here. Calm down. He's on a mission. Okay, bend forward a little bit like we taught you. Now, show dribble. Dribble in one place. Dribble with your fingertips, all right? See how he does that? Now, you may have noticed before I let you go, his left hand, he tried to slap at the ball. His right hand, because he's right hand dominant, he's able to fingertip the ball. So he's a work in process. So I hope this has been helpful. The work on the lighting was better. Maybe I just get you a little bit more time, but it's getting late here. We get the playground when we can get it here in lovely Hanover, Pennsylvania. What I really appreciate you doing as I try to build this channel out is to really engage. So if you can like, subscribe, and then comment below. The comments are important as it relates to the metrics of the channel and helping me to grow it. And then if you really like what you see, and you know there's some people that might be able to benefit from it, please hit that share button and share it to people, which will send them a copy of it, and they can click in and they can watch it as well. So hopefully that'll be helpful. Great to have you here, and have yourself a nice week ahead. But I'll be around every day or two at the maybe not every day, but probably daily as much as I can. So you'll probably hear from me 5 to 7 times a week. This is numero uno, and just like I do with my charges, we're going to build on top of some of these skills. Summer's for basketball. We'll move on to other sports if this isn't your jam. All right? Thank you very much. You take care, guys. See ya.